So now that you're working hard on getting your website onto page 1 of Google, it's important you keep track of your progress so you can see how things are coming along. Instead of just Googling your keyword every day and then seeing where you rank on Google, it's much more accurate and way more easier to just use a tool. In this video, I'm going to show you 2 different options you can use. The first one is actually built into SEMrush. So to access that, what we need to do is go over to Projects on the left-hand side and then go to Position Tracking. So once the page loads, you're going to be given an option to enter in your website domain. So I'm going to put in clickslice.co.uk. Notice how I'm putting in my full domain name and I'm not putting in my service page, such as my SEO service page. I'm not putting in my about page. I'm simply entering my main domain name, which is clickslice.co.uk. So once you've entered in your domain name, you want to go ahead and click Setup. For the search engine, you want to ensure you have Google selected. For the device, I typically go for desktop. However, you can go for mobile and tablet. It's completely your choice. There isn't any right or wrong thing to do right here. For location, you want to put in the location your website is targeting. So as ClickSlice is an SEO agency based in London, I'm going to put in London as my location. Like so. And for the business name for the local map pack, now this is only applicable if you have a Google My Business listing. So a Google My Business listing is a thing you'll see on the right hand side of the page if you search for your website name. And of course, if you don't have an address registered for your business with Google, then you most likely will not have a Google My Business listing. As quite a few people watching this video will not have a Google My Business listing, I'll go ahead and skip this part of the setup. However, the one thing you want to make sure you have right on this page is going to be volume to show. So I've put down London as my location, and you can see we have 2 different options for a local and we have national. So what this means is SEMrush is going to track where you rank in Google based on either your local location, which is what you entered, or it's going to use a broad IP address and search across the whole United Kingdom. As I'm only interested in where I'm ranking for people searching within London, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that is on local, which it should be by default anyway. So once you're happy with these settings, what you need to do is go ahead and click keywords. And now this is where you have the opportunity to add in the keywords you'd like to track. So I've already got a list of my keywords here. I'm only going to use 4 for the purpose of this training video, as if I enter in too many keywords, it's going to take ages to load. So I've gone for local SEO services London, again tied down to London. I've got SEO consultant London, SEO expert London, and I've gone for SEO Essex, which is a county on the east side of London. So once you've entered your keywords, you want to go ahead and click add to project. This is now going to bring your keywords across. So before you start clicking start tracking below to track these keywords, you can see there's actually an option above this box which says send me weekly updates. Now this is ticked by default and I find it actually very handy to actually have. And essentially when you have this box checked, what's going to happen is SEMrush is going to send you an email every single week and will give you a short snippet of how your keywords are progressing. For example, did they increase, did they decrease? And it's quite handy to notice when doing SEO, as if you see some of your keywords are decreasing, you can obviously put some more time aside to ensure these keywords and these pages are optimized correctly. So let's go ahead and click start tracking, and our SEMrush is going to go out there and search for my keywords based on a London IP, as I went for local, and it's going to tell me exactly where I rank for all of these keywords. So once the page has loaded, you can see that SEMrush actually returns quite a bit of information. However, what I find most useful is if you go over to the Overview tab, this is where you can see your actual rankings for all of those keywords. So if you scroll down where it says Rankings Overview, I've got 1 of 4 as I added 4 different keywords, and essentially these are the keywords right here, and this is the position we rank for these keywords in Google. So for local SEO services London, we're in position 4, for SEO consultant London, we're in position 5, for SEO Expert London, we're in position 6, and for SEO Essex, we're in position 12. If you look to the right hand side of the chart, you can also see we have the URL, which is really good as well. So this is the URL which is ranking in Google every time someone carries out a search for this particular keyword. This is actually very handy to have, as if you notice you have any really weird URLs appearing for a keyword, then you can obviously go into your website, de-optimize that page, and make sure the right URL appears for it. The chart also shows you the volume of these keywords, so how often this keyword gets searched for every single month in Google. However, my data seems to be still loading, but I'm not going to sit and make you wait for this. But essentially, it will actually pull in your monthly search volume as well, which is another really good figure to have. So this is essentially how you can track your keywords using SEMrush. I'm pretty sure this is updated daily. However, I wouldn't recommend you log in every day to check your rankings, as SEO is really a long-term game. I would say at most you want to log in once a week, and to be fair, that is more than enough. Maybe once a month is still more than sufficient. You need to give Google some time so they can check the changes you made and adjust your rankings accordingly. Checking your rank tracker every day really isn't a good idea, as the more you log in, it's not really going to make your keywords rank any higher. It's just a case of you logging in, checking, logging in, checking. That's why it's far better just to check once a month to get a good idea of exactly how the campaign is going. And as you can see, for 3 of these 4 keywords, we're ranking on page 1 on Google. And again, this is all by following the same strategies that you've learned in this course. Hopefully this just shows you how powerful SEO really is when done correctly. The next tool you can use to track your rankings is called SERProbot.com. So SERProbot.com actually comes with a free 14-day trial, so you can get access to all of the features for 14 days for completely free. After the 14 days, the cost is $5 per month, which isn't that expensive in comparison to SEMrush, so if you are running on a budget, then it's a great alternative. However, if you do have an account with SEMrush, then I recommend using SEMrush as you have this rank tracker feature already built into the software. So once you sign up for SERProbot, what you need to do is click New Project and put in your project name, so I'll just put in ClickSlice. Now I need to put in my domain name, so it's going to be clickslice.co.uk, and I simply want to enter the keywords that I want to track, such as SEO consultant London for me. I'll add another keyword. We'll go for SEO services London, and we'll go for, I think I had local SEO services London, and so on and so on. So once you're happy with all the keywords, you want to click the region that you want to track your keywords from. So like I said, ClickSlice is targeting the UK. I have a .co.uk domain. So as a result, I want to scroll down and find United Kingdom, which is going to be right here. And once you're done adding your keywords and picking your Google region, you can simply go ahead and click Add Project. This will now add a project in your SERProbot account. So if we scroll down, let's click Got now so you can see that. You can see I have a project for ClickSlice. If I click into ClickSlice, you should see I have 3 keywords which it is tracking: SEO Consultant London, SEO Services London, and Local SEO Services London. So at the moment, there's currently no position for these keywords, as SERProbot is currently searching Google for all of my keywords to find out where I am ranking. Once it does find a number, it's going to update this every 24 hours, as that is the frequency. So it's now been 5 minutes, and as you can see, SERProbot has now updated the keyword positions for all of the keywords I'm tracking. So I have SEO Consultant London here in position 3. I've got SEO Services London here in position 21. I've got Local SEO Services, and I'm here in position 1. So as you can see, it's exactly the same as SEMrush. It provides you with the same information. It also gives you the URL as well in the last column. So you essentially get the same features as SEMrush, but it costs you a fraction of the price. You can actually click into one of the listings as well to get a bit more information. So for example, you can see I'm position 3, I can see the 2 sites above me, the sites below me, and so on and so on. So like I said, if you're running on a budget, then I recommend using SERProbot, as it's a great, much cheaper alternative than SEMrush.